Aspen, good morning from Norway. When I woke up today, I saw there was a new release to the Dji Action 2. I'm using it in a small rig cage, excellent cage. But the big news was, of course, the new update for the Dji Action 2. They fixed some of the issues. I haven't experienced that much of an issue with it. There's been some, of course. We are still waiting for 4K Horizon Steady in 4K, not 2.7K, but I don't use that much. But I did fix some issues with this camera, and I know there's been a lot of people that had some problems with it. Overheating is one of those issues. It doesn't seem like they addressed that this time, but I don't think they can do so much with it. But let's see what they update. The version is 01.01.08.10. They optimize camera exposure when using in scenes with low light. So that's really good. I think this camera is pretty capable of filming in low light situation. But remember one thing, this is an action camera. This is not meant to be filmed in low light situations. But I have experienced that when I'm out running with this camera, that it seems to be some exposure problems with it, and that's especially affecting, of course, the rock steady, the stabilization. But that's normal for an action camera, so that's great. And they optimize color accuracy on camera view. That's good. They optimize recording speed when exporting files from the built-in storage to the micro SD card. And that's really good because I did that one time when I was using only the camera module, this one, and gonna export the files to my touchscreen or to the SD card just to make more space on the camera module, because that's the only one on this camera that are 100% waterproof. You can't use the screen or the power module when you're out in bad weather. And the transfer was extremely slow. I haven't tested it, I've just updated the camera, so I'm gonna test it, of course, but it's crappy weather in Norway now, so I'm not gonna go out today. I'm sitting in my living room and watching out, and just raining and blowing all the time. But they did that, and that's excellent. So we're gonna see how fast that is. So that's great. Let's see what else they done. Let's see. Yeah, the export speed, that's good. When the reduced frequency of flicker producing by indoor lighting. And I'll see that when I'm using this camera, I use it in auto flicker mode. And that's between 60 and 50 Hertz. And I see there is a lot of flickering in the lights. So that's good that they fixed some of that issues. Optimized zoom adjustment. I never use zoom on this camera. That's digital zoom. It looks crap. It's better to zoom in post. They improved micro SD card compatibility, and that's great because a lot of people have had some issues with micro SD card not compatible with this camera. But you have to remember one thing: when you're using an SD card, always look at the spec on the camera and use what's recommended. But maybe they done something with that now, so more SD card is on that list. But I highly recommend SanDisk Extreme Pro. Excellent SD card, good quality. Never had any issues with them. Working amazing on this camera. And they added support so camera view automatically correct if it's upside down during the live stream. I never use this camera for live stream, but that's good. If you're switching your camera, turning it up and down, the view should be corrected then. They fixed some issues, front touchscreen module or the power module discharge even when not in use. I haven't experienced that, and that's really frustrating. When the camera are connected to each other, and especially if the camera module is 100%, it seems to be charging the camera module all the time, and the battery is drained. So that's good. And I can see now it's not charging. because this camera is 100%. So that's excellent. Good, DJI. And let's see. Fix occasional a micro SD card cannot be detected. I've experienced that before one time, but that's not a major issue for me. And of course they fix some minor bugs. So this is a good release from DJI to the Action 2. They have to address these problems, and I really hope they will keep updating this camera because it still has some issues. Overheating is one of them, but you have to remember this is an extremely small camera. It is. And of course, if you're shooting in high resolution and higher frame rate, this camera is going to overheat. But I see now when you're shooting in 4K 120, the camera should last for 11 minutes in temperature around 25 degrees. Of course, in other climate, this camera can't record that long, especially if it's extremely warm. But I don't see that's a major issue for me because I'm usually shooting in short bursts. What else? Overall, I think this camera is a great camera. I really hope they still update it because it's still got some issues, but that's normal. People are complaining all the time. And I know there are GoPro fanboys and DJI fanboys, and they're already arguing which camera is best. What I like about the Action 2 is the color science. I really like the colors on the DJI product. High quality, and I think this is a good camera. Of course, I was hoping that the whole unit was waterproof. I think in the future, DJI will come with another module that you can attach to your camera module that are waterproof. So I think this could be a good start for DJI. It's always a big change to take when you're launching a brand new product that are not similar to what you're used to. So I think this is a good camera to have, and I have the GoPro Hero 10, excellent camera too, but I still think that the DJI Action 2 is as good as the GoPro Hero 10, even better in some situations. And that's the same with the GoPro Hero 10. That's better in some situations too. So depending on your taste, what kind of color science you like, and yeah, I think this is a great camera. So I recommend buying it, but it's quite pricey. So just remember that. The old Osmo Action is still a great, excellent camera. So I can still highly recommend that camera too. So, but yeah. So thank you so much DJI for updating this camera, and as you can see, I'm using the small rig cage for the DJI Action 2. It's an excellent cage, and it seems to be protecting the camera pretty good. It's some kind of plastic rubbery thing, but I think this is really good, and it's protecting the camera. That's most important, so you don't get many scratches and stuff like that. Because remember, this is an auto camera, not an indoor camera. So thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.